In this, which will include S is equal to minus B plus minus minus 6 plus minus, right? Then root of b square minus means 36 minus 4ac, a into c is 13 divided by 2. So if we'll solve it, then we'll get s plus 3 plus j, right? S plus 3 minus j. Got it? So this from this we can see that these are the complex poles, right? So now we'll need to start the question. That remember the step number 1. Step number 1 is we need to calculate total number of pi. So number of poles is how much? How many poles are there? You can see, like suppose this one is s is equal to 0 and we'll have two poles from this equation. So number of poles is 3 and number of zeros is how much? That is noted by z, that is equal to 1, right? S plus 4 is there, so 0 is s is equal to minus 4, correct? So how much are the number of loci? So that would be minus z. Minus z means 3 minus 1, that is 2. Okay, so this was our step number 1. Step number 2 is we have to draw pole 0 plot, right? We have to plot the poles and 0 in the graph. You will get a normal graph paper, or you can draw it like this also. Like suppose this is the real axis. Real axis is denoted by sigma and minus sigma. Imaginary axis is denoted by plus j omega and minus j omega. It is 0, like suppose it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and so on, right? So let's see what is the number of zeros. Zeros is how much? S is equal to minus 4. So remember I told you those are represented by the circle, right? So it is minus 4, correct? Now we have to calculate the pole value. Pole value is how much? If we'll calculate it from here, then that would be minus 3 minus j2, right? And another value from here, minus 3 plus j2, right? So if I'll mark it, like suppose it is j1, j2, and it would be minus j1 and minus j2. So minus 3 and minus j2 would be here, right? Like this. So we'll mark a crossover here. Similarly, minus 3 and minus j2 will be, so we'll mark a cross over here. Cross means poles. As I told you, poles are denoted by the cross, and 0 is represented by the one more pole is also there now. S is equal to 0, so this is another pole. So we'll have in this case 3 poles and 1 zeros we obtain. Understood? Now the next steps, number 3, obtain real axis loci. Real axis loci means, remember I will start it from here left side, so we will count it 0 to 1. We didn't consider the imaginary poles. We'll always need to consider the real pole. So from here to here it will consider the real locus and another part as no real locus. Okay, understood? It will include zeros also. Last time there was the case of poles only, now will include 0 to 1. Odd number is there, odd number it will be real. Then again even will be there, so that would be no real locus. Okay, So step number 3 is also done. Step number 4, have to calculate number of asymptotes, right? And remember what was the formula for the number of asymptotes? And we need to calculate angle of asymptotes also, right? So it will start from 0 to p minus z minus 1. So poles is how much? 3, 2 is 1, minus 1. So 0 minus 3 minus 2 is 1. So 0 to 1 means there will be two number of asymptotes. We'll calculate two number of asymptotes. One will be the beta naught and another will be the beta 1. Correct? Now can you tell me the formula for the calculation of angle of asymptotes? What was the formula? I told you in the last lecture. Hmm. Over p minus. Now put the value of x equal to 0. You know the value of p, you know the value of z. Then you will get the value for beta naught and beta. Solve it and then tell me. So after solving, you will get beta naught is equal to 90 degree and beta 1 is equal to 270. Right? Next step, step number 5, we need to calculate the centroid. Right? Now you tell me what was the formula for the centroid that we done in the last class and tell me the value for the centroid. In this real part of poles are zeros and then minus 2 minus 3 minus j. Real part of zeros is minus 4, p minus z is 3 minus 1. So plus j2 and minus j2 out, answer would be. So now let's draw this thing on the graph. As if you remember, we'll start with the centroid and we'll draw the angle, right? So centroid is how much? Minus 1, correct? Now minus 1 is this one. We need to draw the angle of asymptotes. One of the angle is we got it as e, so draw it here. 90 degree. No, it's a straight line, right? So we can note it down here. Not would be to 90 degree, correct? And next angle is what? The 270 degree. Beta 1 is similarly we'll draw it to 20 degree. If I'll draw it, then again it would be a straight line. 90, 180 and then 270, right? So this angle is how much? 270 degree. The 1 is equal to 70 degree. Understood? Any doubt up to here? In the next step, what we need to calculate? Number 6. We need to calculate break away point, right? Can you tell me what is the formula for the calculation of breakaway point? Remember? First of all, we need to get the characteristic equation. Sorry. What is the formula for the characteristic equation? 1 plus gs hs is equal to 0. So 1 plus gs hs is given in the question. K into s plus 4 into square plus 6s plus 13 is equal to 0, right? So from here you need to calculate value of k, correct? Now calculate it by your own. In this need to solve it. First we need to take the LCM. Okay, it would be into x square 16 plus 4 divided by the term. If that term goes to the right hand side, that would be equal to 0, right? So I'm not writing it down. Now we need to solve this equation. S cube plus 6 square plus 13s ks plus k4, right? So I need to shift this all this term to the right hand side to calculate for the k. So k into s plus 4 is equal to minus of s in s, right? If we need to calculate the value of k, then k would be minus of s square plus divided by the 4. So this is what we got for the, okay. Now the next step is we need to differentiate a with respect to s, and that would be equal to 0. So from there we'll get the value of s1 and s2, and that would be the breakaway point where from the centroid it is moving and it will break and intersect with the imaginary x. Remember? Now you are going to calculate dk by ds, means differentiate this equation with respect to, okay. Now we need to differentiate the equation, right? So what we got, a is equal to minus of x square plus 13s divided by plus 4, correct? We have to use u by rule. What is the u by v rule? Square minus v is the denominator, u is the numerator. So it would be s plus 4 ka square v as it is, means 4 as it is. Differentiation of the numerator, s cube differentiation, how much? That would be minus 3s square, then 6 to ja 12s plus 13, right? So it's also minus, then minus, and after that u as it is how much? Minus of s cube minus 6 square minus 13s dv, differentiation of the denominator, that is s plus 4. 4 is the constant, 4 differentiation is 0, s differentiation is equal to 1 only, that would be equal to 0, okay. Now if we'll solve it, this term goes to the right hand side, that would be equal to 0 multiplied by 0. Now we need to solve this equation further, okay. If I'll solve it, then it would be minus minus would be plus, so it would be plus s plus 6 square plus 13s, right? Now we need to multiply this equation, then that would be, if I'll multiply whole term with the s, then that would be minus 3 cube, then minus 12s square minus 13s, right? Now I need to multiply whole term with the 4, then that would 3 into 4 is how much? 12. Then would be minus 12s square, 12 4 ja 48 minus 48 minus 13 4 ja 50 minus 52, right? Clear? Now see, we'll add s cube and s cube, minus 3s cube and plus s cube would equal to minus 2s cube, then minus 12s square minus 12s square and plus 6 square, then that would be minus 18s square, minus 13s minus 48s plus 13s, that would be minus 48s minus 50 is equal to 0, correct? Now if I'll take 2 common from all this, if I'll divide the equation by 2, then the equation would be s cube plus 9 square plus 24s 26 equal to 0, correct? So what we got, the final equation, s cube plus 9s square plus 24s 26 is equal to 0. Now we need to solve it. We'll get, as you can say, it's c, it's s cube, so we'll get three values of s, s1 s2 and s3. After solving we'll get minus 5.942, and s2 will get it as minus 1.754 plus j 1.28. s3 will get it as minus 1.7 minus j 1. Okay, so these will get it as a breakaway point, but as you can see that these two are the imaginary so these two are not a valid breakaway point. Let's see if this lies between the real locus or not. That is minus 5.3. So as you can see that minus 5.3 lies under real locus or no real locus. Tell me. No real locus. That means all the 3 points are not a valid break point. So we'll write it like this. Not a valid breakaway point. A P. Okay, understood?